And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port here on a Tuesday. It's Barnes, it's Tony. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty well, dude. You know, you said it's on a Tuesday. It's nice out there. Start our morning off pretty right. So here we are, dude. We're gonna talk some Mets baseball.
You're excited for that because you haven't seen it.
No, not really. I mean, nothing really went my way in terms of sports last night. But you know what? You can't have it all the time, you know?
No, you can't. And listen, it's all about perspective. And of course, we'll do a full breakdown of the Yankees game last night. Unfortunately, a late kerfuffle, Tony, ending that 7-game winning streak. But you know what? It's all about maturity. It's all about restraint. You don't bug out. You just go on to the next day. You take care of business, and you go from there.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. And you know who else does that? Would be Matthew Gabriel.
Oh, really, dude? Speaking of which, dude, he commented first early and often this morning. He says, let's effing go. Damn it, he says. Hey, Barnes, do you love Greenwich, dude?
So a little context there. There was, lately it seems like there's been a lot of issues with like the Metro North and stuff. Remember, what happened to Mark? So this time there was something similar where there was only one train going north to Connecticut from the stadium. So they combined, usually how it's Stanford Direct, they combined the Westchester train, which ends in Greenwich, with the Connecticut train. So it was all local the whole way. So it's taking extra long. We're kind of ready to get going. So each stop, oh, and you know what's funny? It was literally this is Harrison. The next stop is Mamaroneck. So they actually did that. And then each stop, we're checking like large amount and stuff, how much the Uber is. Cause it's like, we're ready to get out of there pretty much. And I happened to search the Greenwich one, and basically maybe it was like $1 or $2 more than what the Stanford Uber would be. So I'm like, all right, let's just get off in Greenwich. Like, it's just let's just go, because like where I'm situated too, it's not that like my spot isn't that far from Greenwich, the back way, so it's not really that long. So we just did that, but we were cracking up after, just thinking about telling people, oh, you think it's funny? You getting off in Greenwich, huh? Greenwich is sick, though, dude. It honestly falls with the Westchester. It's the same thing.
I can confidently say I've never really been out in Greenwich, dude.
It's time for you, honestly.
It's time for me.
Yes. Abyss, very good. I mean, no Sakura, but very good hibachi place.
Oh, okay, cool.
Greenwich Ave just littered with places. Yeah.
Abyss.
Yeah, Abyss. So you put that in the archives, Tony.
All right, dude, I'll keep an eye out for that.
I think the name of it, too, there's like this high-end sushi place called Hinoki, which looks dope.
Dude, I've been dying for sushi recently.
Yeah.
Dying, dude.
So, we'll put something together for sure on that end.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of putting it together, Michael Buckto back in the house saying, hey, guys, the beaches, the palm trees, the food, the beer, Pacific Ocean, and last but not least, the women again equals Southern California, dude. And then Matthew says, no, dude, bug out. Was he kind of like tight?
No. He's saying like what I was talking about this, what I was just mentioning to you, and I was talking about to him last night. It's like, listen, we got to look big picture here.
Oh, for the actual game.
So annoying. Okay. We were there, so you feel it more. But at the end of the day, it's one loss. You've been playing well. Everything went wrong in the 9th inning. So I mean, that's not going to happen too often. So what are you going to do?
And I'm sure a man who knows that is Denny V in the house. Says good morning. Hashtag TTB, hashtag TCA, dude. And then Matthew says, go to Mamaroneck, dude. Av, look at yas.
There he is.
Michael Theophil, the man himself in here. That's not California anymore, Michael. LOL. The complete opposite.
And obviously, I'll be heading to California on Thursday. But the difference, Tony, complete business trip. Okay, I'm
Total
going
business
there,
trip.
not leaving without 2 victories.
No.
Okay, so I'll push my flight back to Monday if I
Right.
have to get that win on Sunday, even though I'm not going to the game. All right.
Business.
No, but honestly, that was kind of hilarious thinking back to last week with Game 6 in Raleigh. It's a business trip. But yeah, so just a little, synopsis.
Yeah, what do we got here? Some with the
before
food.
we get
Come on.
into the actual game, but just the day. So we take the train, get off in Fordham. Beautiful day yesterday. It was one of those like patent summer afternoons. So the walk, from the train station within 10 minutes to Arthur Ave. So it's nice, honestly,
Yeah.
stretch the legs. So it was nice to get there. We get to Amelia's, and kind of similar to the last time I went to the game, and we went to Ann and Tony's. Same thing where barely anybody in the restaurant, which is nice. And then we kind of got, a few different things. Everything was outstanding. I was really impressed. And, growing up, I had been there a bunch to Amelia's because, my sister went to Fordham, and that was like kind of always our spot to get food. But I hadn't been there in a while. I almost like forgot like what, just how it was laid out, this and that. But, had your house cab.
There we go.
The bread was great. So had a couple rounds of that. And then, we split the calamari, the mussels with marinara, Tony. And then the arugula salad, all complete fire.
Arugula salad.
Yeah. And then the entrees, we both got the same thing. It was kind of interesting. On the menu, it was, your typical cavatelli. I know you would say gavadil, Tony, but I'm saying it's cavatelli. With oil, garlic, broccoli rabe, sausage, and some like hot pepper. We had them swap out the sausage for shrimp.
Ooh.
So that threw them off for a second. You know how like just these adjustments, but they were able to do it. Was a little spicy, but like so good, like unbelievably good.
Dude, I saw the photo, wanted me to eat my phone, dude.
Yeah. So, and it was interesting because last time,
Matt is addicted to arugula right now. We had an arugula salad this weekend all together.
And it's funny actually. Me and Sam, when we get Remos, we always split a salad with arugula. Tony, I was going over that with Matt yesterday. It's the arugula, the chickpeas, the cucumbers, the tomatoes, the lemon dressing. How are you? Anyway, back to Amelia's. So the cavatelli was great. And I feel like too, I don't know about you, like I feel like when I was younger, I used to have more cavatelli, but I feel like I barely ever have it. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like for me, it was always at the restaurant or something. Like my mother never had it.
But I'm saying, like, don't you feel like you never have it now?
Yeah, I never do.
Yeah.
I don't even see that often on menus, I feel.
Yeah. It's kind of faded into oblivion.
Yeah.
Is that even a word or no?
Oblivion.
Close.
Abyss.
Yes. So that was outstanding. We both scraped our plates clean.
Oh my gosh.
And then we went dessert, got the cappuccino. Cappuccino was outstanding. You don't even need sugar, Tony. I know you like it light and sweet, but right? Or you don't need it for
cappuccino, just do a little sugar.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You need your little okay.
Oh.
So had that and the tiramisu, easily one of the best tiramisus I've ever had. And it's funny too, because growing up, I didn't really like tiramisu. I was always like, Napoleon is a lot better. But
right.
I've really taken a liking to that perfectly like tiramisu. Like it's like kind of soaked in a way, but it's like just so pure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been a fan. Dude.
But you need to because neither have I. But I'm telling you, you've had the wrong tiramisu. That's the problem. Honestly, like I will direct you. The one at Polici's is outstanding too in Stanford, but this one was great. I'm telling you, because like I said, tiramisu was always not on the list.
Right.
Outstanding with the cappuccino. I know you're doubting it, Tony.
I am doubting it, but I'll try it.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, I could see you doing a 360.
I could try it right now.
It would be good, honestly. But highly recommend anybody who hasn't tried Amelia's, give it a shot.
One dish there that you like was your favorite. Everything
of everything I had.
Everything you had. What was your one dish?
I mean, probably the cavatelli.
Oh,
I mean, it was
God.
It was
shrimp in,
yeah.
It looks so good.
It was really good. It's really good. A couple more here. What do we got?
Let's see. Oh, there we go. Matthew Gabriel. He says Amelia's so good. Enzo's is next. He says.
Yes.
Gabadil. Then Michael says, "Oh, we already did that." And then he says, "I love Brianisms."
I will direct you.
I will direct.
I don't know. I mean, listen. Like life is hard. We get it. certain things though that everybody has like, and I just feel like with like a meal, like I'm not gonna steer you in the wrong direction,
No.
Tony. I know the vodka sauce is a little sweet at Remos, but that's
sweet,
okay. Okay. But yeah, that was awesome. You really can't beat Arthur Ave. So it's just a great setup, especially like going to the weekday game and go to Arthur before because it's not that packed. Like it's just a solid, all around experience. And then we had it it literally happened too. Like we're not planning on going anywhere before the game, and we barely were there, but we just wanted to see it for a couple minutes, have a drink. We went to the Dugout, so that's another bar.
Oh,
I
nice.
think I've been there a while ago. I think Mark always liked going there, but I hadn't been there in like years. So your typical dive bar, wasn't too packed, but big in there. I'm sure on the weekends it gets packed. So just had a drink in there, and then went into the game.
Nice, dude.
Seats were great, and that's where we go, Tony, to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it! Yep. And Alonso cracks one. The Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Too deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So, as we know by now, Yankees falling apart late, losing 5-4. But how do we get there? What happened? So we take you post dugout, Tony. Outfield entrance, actually pretty packed crowd, and I think it ended up being, I think I looked it up. It was like 37,000. I think was the attendance. Yeah. So a lot of people. So it took a few minutes to get in. And I don't think I had sat in this section before, but it was section 105, right field. I mean, literally directly behind Juan Soto, only 8 rows up, which was awesome. So it really felt like, and there just weren't any home runs in the game last night, but it really felt like one was going to come our way. But right before the game starts, and I texted you guys, right away, Soto's, looking around, all excited, getting the fans riled, throws the ball up, and it's the section next to us is where this goes, kind of mid-section. So we're at the end of the section, across the stairs or whatever you want to call it. So really not that close. So I see it off in the air, off the rip. I'm like, okay, I mean, I'm not really going to like try to get this. Like, it's not really that close to me. And then one guy drops it, and then the ball's like getting juggled around, and then it's on the floor. And then the guy like just couldn't get a grasp on the floor. Just go in there like a cat, Tony. One swoop, got the ball. Like everyone was kind of like in shock that I was able to do it. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, that's
kind of crazy. But listen, I mean, it's not my fault. 2 bobbles. Right. It's not like it was 1. It was 2. You're gonna give me a chance. What do you think I'm gonna do?
I mean, you got to be on it, dude. Like they got to figure it out, and you figured it out. Matt must have been bugging out, huh?
Yeah, no, he kind of was. He's like, wow, I like saw that whole thing happen. Like that was crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, geez, I don't know if I've gotten a ball at a game in like 20 years. So it was just like, really, really unexpected. So that was awesome. Soto jacked up the whole time, talking to Judge throughout the at-bats, engaging with the fans. He kind of acknowledged us too when we were saying, let's go Soto. So obviously he was fired up. So it was the perfect night, the perfect atmosphere, and those seats are great. It really, really is awesome. And that's the thing. You really can get a good deal if you go midweek versus the weekend, because then you can get those type of seats. Because especially when me and Matt have went over the years, probably 90% of the time, or whatever you want to call it, we've had the standing seats, which are fine.
Right.
But there's nothing like having a seat. It definitely is nice. So the view was perfect, and Marcus Stroman was almost perfect, Tony. And it's a shame that they end up losing this one, but Stroman was dialed in from first pitch. Pitching into the 8th inning, Tony, before, he gives up, a home run to Cazone. But Stroman's line last night, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 96 pitches. So you understand, why they, pulled him, and Weaver gets those 2 outs in only 6 pitches, in the top half of the 8th. So everything, going well. especially because your offense had, given you support. Verdugo right away in the first inning with a double to right, scoring Judge and Soto. So off the bat, you're feeling good, 2-0. Couple scoreless innings in between, and then Verdugo again with a single to make it 3-0. No scoring till the 8th. The Canzone home run knocks Stroman out of the game. Then John Birdie with a single in the bottom of the 8th scored Gleyber Torres to make it 4-1. So you're feeling great. Clay Holmes hasn't allowed to run all season, Tony. And unfortunately, it was the House of Horrors in the top half of the 9th inning. And it wasn't like, he's just like, they're ripping the ball off of him. Really wasn't like that. It was a bad combination of, poor fielding, poor placement with the hits, which obviously is nobody's fault, and then some walks. So it started out fine, ground out to second to start the inning, and then Julio Rodriguez hits in no man's land, barely makes contact with it. He's obviously fast. He beats it out. And then Holmes walks Cal Raleigh. So that you got first and second, one out. And then Gleyber, a kerfuffle, Tony, just fields it, rushing the throw, and doesn't get Luke Raley. The throwing error allows a run to score to make it 4-2. And then Holmes gives up a single to Haniger to make it 4-3. Then he walks more. And almost, gives up a 3-run homer to Canzone, who had homered earlier this game, but it's a sac fly to make it 4-4. But then Ty France, with a single, makes it 5-4, and then they bring in Caleb Ferguson, get the final out of the top half of the ninth. So just a disastrous performance there by Clay Holmes, but he had been so good all year, and the Yankees, especially late in these games where their pitching's been, haven't really hit any bad luck. So this is the first time we saw that. And the ninth, they try to rally, but Volpe strikes out to start the inning. You did get a Soto single, but then Judge strikes out looking, and Verdugo grounds out to end the game. So Yankees 7-game winning streak is over as they lose this one 5-4. So that did definitely, put a damper on the night. But like I said, sure. I mean, when you're 17 games over 500, I guess it's easy to just look at it like this, but from the jump, like as annoyed as I was, as tight as I was just kind of thinking big picture. And it's like, I can't dwell on this. Baltimore lost as well. Yes, you should have had it. But I was talking to my dad on the phone this morning, and I know you would agree. Even if you're winning 110 games, you're gonna there's no way to go through a season without a game like the ninth inning, specifically last night. But you can't avoid it, no matter how good or bad your team is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's just one of those games, too. Like you said, it's unavoidable. I mean, Clay Holmes, too. I mean, you want to look at it, obviously, just in the instance of this game. Yeah, maybe not everything was his fault, but didn't really help himself. But I mean, coming into this game, what did he have? Like, it was like 21 appearances with no earned runs, right? I mean, he's absolutely on fire, and that wasn't going to last forever. It is kind of unfortunate that it did kind of end in this fashion, end the win streak and everything like that. But like you said, you're thinking bigger picture. I mean, you can afford to lose games like this, which, like you said, will happen, like no matter what, as if it's just out of your hands, like it's going to happen. So, I mean, what's important is that you bounce back from it, is that Clay Holmes doesn't really go into an abyss because of this.
You're hungry, aren't you?
I am starving. And then, I mean, again, you want to look at it. I mean, Jesus, dude, this is probably like one of Stroman's best outing, like in the past 3 years, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, he was looking so good, dude.
As he's walking off the
mound,
dude, like fired up.
He was looking great. So, I mean, there's a lot to even still be good about. Happy about,
Yeah, exactly. So I think, you bounce back tonight. And I think the good thing, too, it's not like, Holmes gave up a couple home runs, a couple extra base hits. Half of the stuff was walks and poorly placed, little shit hits. You know what I mean? So, I mean, come on, right?
Yeah, no, I totally agree, dude. Do you think, because I feel like there's a lot, well, I mean, there are a lot of, Holmes naysayers out there.
Josh B?
Yeah, Josh B can be one of them, but I feel like, dude, a lot of people call up the ESPN radio and say that Holmes is not going to be the guy, whatever. I'm just saying, well, this morning specifically, but even over the course of time, like even this season, people are just like, oh, like Holmes is probably
Renee never said
that. Whatever.
Renee never said that.
Renee never said that. Although I think I recall maybe Renee one time maybe she said it. But I don't know. I mean, do you think they're just full of it and they're just like, you know,
can't,
they're just naysayers?
Listen, Tony, you know, I don't mean to put us on a pedestal, but some of these people that call into these, I mean, come on, like you can't even listen to them.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that.
And you know, not like, of course, our intelligent TCA friends, they don't make calls like that, but those are the people that watch a game a couple times a month and just don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
Clearly, Clay Holmes, one of the best relievers in the game. And like I said, I mean, I was telling Matt too, I think you play that situation over 9 times in a row after last night, you win that game every single time.
Right. Yeah.
So like I said, it's just like one of those things. And I think it's tough. And I get it, especially when you're like a dedicated fan like me, like Matthew, like you, to just accept that is going to happen. Like, I think it's really hard for people to accept that. It's just like every time you're right there, you just feel like you have to just win. And like, otherwise, like it sucks.
Yeah.
But
now what was the overall mood of the stadium at this, like, you know, the 9th inning, like after this?
Yeah, people were shocked.
Yeah.
People were tight.
Leaving?
Nobody leaving, no. You know, just because the top of the lineup was coming up.
Right.
But yeah, definitely shocked. And you couldn't believe it at the end of the day. But like I said, I mean, it's just so different, you know, when this happens, like if it was in the midst of an 8-game losing streak, if you were 5 games under 500, 10 games over 500, but the fact of where it happens, I mean, I think everybody could feel like you could win tonight, and you take a lot of positive. A game, you know, you had 12 hits, 4 runs. Stroman pitches lights out. At the end of the day, I mean, it comes down to one pitcher being off and just throwing things off kilter.
Gee, you only struck out 3 times as a team.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
I mean, it was a good offensive performance. Nice to see Doogie get 3 hits, Soto with 2 hits, Judge with 2 hits. I mean, Rizzo with 2 hits. I mean, that's a lot of hits. And you know, you'll be okay. Clay will be okay. And yeah, let's win tonight. Brian Wu, Tony, versus Clark Schmidt tonight.
Hey,
Schmidt coming off the best outing of his season, so kind of almost similar to what Stroman had done last night. Stroman a couple outs shy of that, but Schmidt going 8 scoreless last time out in Minnesota. Wu, you know, was coming back from an injury, so he's only made, I think, 1 start this season, Tony. So I feel good. I think they've been having good at bats. And you know, Clay won't be available tonight. I think he threw 30-something pitches, but that's fine. Give him a day or two, get right, and you know, gear up for this West Coast trip coming up.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he will, especially on the West Coast, dude.
Yeah, definitely. Exactly. And you know, and like I said, it was good that the Orioles lost, so you didn't lose any ground there. And like, speaking of the Orioles, and I know I mentioned this a little while ago, but you know, like just like stuff like that happens, even though, you know, we view the Orioles as a good team. I mean, they lost 2 out of 3 to Oakland. Like, it's like, was it over then, Tony? You know what I mean?
No.
It's like you just take the punches, you go through it. And you know who else does that is Michael Buckta.
Oh yeah. He wants to know, Barnes, when do you originally fly home?
I don't understand the wording on that. When do you originally fly home? Is he meaning when I'm coming back?
I think so.
Yeah, so it's a Thursday to Sunday trip, Michael. So flying back on Sunday morning. So, you know, a 3-night stay. Get in, get out, get a couple wins.
Business trip
at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So that is what it is. But you know, despite the loss, obviously always a great time. You know, at the stadium. And he goes, oh, so a very short trip, but not to worry, Michael, because I will be back in August. 6 nights.
Oh, wow.
3 in Calabasas and 3 in Newport Beach, which is really the best at this point. Newport Beach, honestly, really took me off guard too. Wasn't expecting it. San Diego's always been my spot, but really wasn't. The food, Tony, in Newport Beach, like you would kind of go nuts there. Yeah.
Oh God, dude, I bet.
The beach, the babes,
the beers. That's what they say, dude.
Get fish tacos in the beer barns with the ladies.
The ladies, dude. The Newport Beach is fire.
He's trying to live vicariously, Tony.
I think so. I mean, he's probably so jealous of you.
Yeah, dude. The Mexican food there is the best. Yes, we know. So yeah, that's really what I have on the Yankees. I have no idea besides that they lost. But what happened with the Mets?
I mean, nothing really that great, obviously. You know, you mentioned the loss 3-1. I mean, I think before we really break this down, but I mean, just looking at the score, Brian, you can imagine the bats were not there, which is I don't know, been a continuing problem here as of recently for the Mets. I mean, you want to look at it right now. You know, we mentioned Tyler McGill's first start in a while. I think his last start was in April.
March
shoulder
31st, right?
March 30. Oh yeah, March 31st. That's what it was.
Because remember, you're like, oh wait,
Yeah,
so what month is this? You're looking
February,
at 3,
March.
and you're asking
Yeah.
me what month 3 is. I mean, come on, like, aren't you the professor?
So around March 31st is his last start, the shoulder pain and whatnot. So he comes into here, you know, you're looking maybe, hopefully, because again, the spring training, the first start, pretty solid. There was some high hopes for McGill, but naturally, like any other Met pitcher, he had to go on the IR, or the IL, excuse me. And then now here we go. I guess first inning he looked okay. I mean, he does end up giving up 2 runs in the first inning, but I don't know, man. The defense behind him was just like not good at all. I guess he actually only gave up 1 run. The other run was earned off an error by Nimmo. But I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, if you look at McGill, I mean, you look at his pitch, what his pitches were looking like. His 4-seamer was reaching 97, which is, I mean, honestly, as fast as it's ever been. I don't know if it was just adrenaline, first start back, whatever, but he was consistently hitting 97.
She doesn't want to say hi to that. 3 times I asked about.
I know. I don't think she really likes you today.
It's a business trip.
Yeah. She's probably busy. Whatever. It's okay, dude.
Yeah. No, I'm not hurt, Renee. Don't worry.
Maybe you can catch back tomorrow. You know? Yeah.
I'll take a Staten Island egg sandwich, please. No, you know what? That's on me then, Renee. I shouldn't have doubted you.
I yelled from over there and I yelled over there.
You know, I guess it's the
headphones.
Good quality. Yeah. It's the quality, Renee. But I appreciate it. Good morning. Top of the morning.
God, dude. So after that first inning, you know, Mets are immediately down 2-0. And I mean, again, looking at some of the fielding, Nimmo obviously wasn't doing great. Even Bader had some, I don't know what his problem is, but I feel like he always takes a wrong first step off a hit.
False step. Yeah. That's what I used to do. It was like with football every time.
Oh, really?
That's why I was so bad at offensive line. I just couldn't go. I had to start back.
Well, unfortunately, Bader did make it to the majors and is playing for the Mets right now, even though his first step is just always in the wrong direction.
You think he should be in Syracuse right now, working on a couple things?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, as the way the rest of the team is performing, I guess no. But it's just so annoying. I mean, literally, dude, this ball like pops off the bat, and his first 2 steps are in, and then all of a sudden he's running backwards. The ball goes over his head, bounces off the wall, and it's like, what do you do? And then he makes some crazy throw, like just doesn't even look. It's a crazy throw. Like forget the cutoff man, and runners advance because of that. But nonetheless, you're down 2-0 after the first inning. And then I guess I want to say we're gonna fast forward now. I think it was the top of the second. I want to say Marte grinds out double play, shortstop. Marte gets thrown out of this game. Second inning, dude. He's tight. First inning again makes a kerfuffle in the outfield. Oh, and also gets caught on the bags, dude. This was so stupid. I think like. I want to say, I forget who was at. Oh, yeah, Martinez out at second in the rundown. And Marte, for some reason, was just standing in between first and second. So Martinez is caught in the rundown. And Jose Ramirez, who tagged Martinez, it looks over to first, and Marte's not even in the bag. So he throws to first, and Marte has no chance. Marte gets called out. And then the following inning, that's right, it was after, it was the third inning where he gets tossed out here. Absolutely ridiculous. Fourth inning. Strikes out looking on a sinker, 92, which was in the zone, called strike looking, argues. Umpire says no, F you, whatever. Marte starts walking over, must have said something.
Chirping.
Must have said something, because no one really heard it, no one really knew, not even Gary. Okay.
Wow.
Ump tosses him, Mendoza out, enraged, Marte tight. But evidently,
and Marte's been thrown out of here.
Yeah, literally though. I mean, I don't really know what it was said, but looks like the umpire
it was
here
Keith, like,
didn't
wait,
really
he
like
was?
it. Yeah, literally. Oh no, and Keith, oh my, no, you can't do that.
No.
Oh God, it's so ridiculous. So anyway, in between there, you do see Nimmo go yard, hitting a dinger 405 feet off of a hanging curveball, which was nice to see. Nino just kind of sitting on a curveball, I guess. But nonetheless, I guess the deficit's been cut into down to 1. Excuse me. Now it's 2-1. But we're gonna fast forward down to the bottom of the 4th. McGill leadoff walk, dude. Brennan pops out to 3rd, and you know what? Fry ends up stealing 2nd, which, I mean, at this point, I want to say the Mets have maybe thrown out 3 runners this season.
Pathetic.
It really is kind of pathetic. And I mean, there was no chance for Nino to make the throw. He did anyway, which was accurate, but just obviously way behind Fry. And then wouldn't you know it, McGill off a 4-seam fastball down the middle. I mentioned that, in the first inning he had the velocity, but not the accuracy. This one hangs over the middle. Manzardo takes it to center field for a double, scores Fry, makes it 3-1. McGill, that is, does get a strikeout, and then Raccio does ground out to shortstop to end the inning. Top 5, Lively gets through clean, by the way, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I want to say it was the 6th inning, I think. Where it was runners, bases were loaded here. It looks like Lively starts at the top of the 6th. Lindor flies out. Alonso singles, so man on first. Nimmo, another single. So you have first and second with 1 out. Martinez comes in, strikes out swinging. They pull Lively, so you have 2 out with 2 runners on. And then Taylor gets walked by Sandlin, so you have the bases juiced, 2 outs. Brett Beatty strikes out swing on a 3-pitch at bat, 4-seamer, splitter, 4-seamer. Just
see you
like
later.
Literally gets completely turned around. This at bat had no chance.
Should he go to Syracuse?
He honestly, at this point, I guess
maybe bring up Luis Angel.
Yeah, I guess you can throw him at 3rd or get Vientos.
Is
more
he hitting
looks.
or he's still?
No. I was actually looking at some prospects. Nobody's doing good.
Alonso, though, he's hitting 230 now. Might be the time. Trade him.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm almost thinking, like, is it even worth it just to bring the younger guys up and just see what can happen?
Oh,
but I mean, like, dude, some of them are batting like 200, 190.
But we talked about this so many times, especially with pitching. 6 ERA and AAA. They come to the majors first 5 starts, 3 ERA.
I think Blade Tywell, who I believe is in.
I didn't know it was. So it's not Tidewell. It's Tywell.
Tidewell.
Oh, it is Tidewell.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
He's in Syracuse, I want to say. I don't think it's Binghamton, Syracuse, but he has like a 2.1 or 2.3 ERA
as a
starter.
So what?
He has, I think, 6 starts and 7 appearances. He has like 41 strikeouts over 37 innings.
But he's not in the 40 or here.
No, and I feel like he should be.
Right. AAA. Usually, you're always on the 40.
I know. Which is interesting. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens with Scott and everything. But anyway. Beatty strikes out, leaves runners stranded, sucks. In a 2-run game, too. You couldn't even get like a single, whereas you bring in 2 runners, hopefully you tie it up. No, nothing. And that was basically the end of the game, dude. There was nothing else. Clase comes in the 9th, 3 up, 3 down. You look at this box score here. The Mets really had nothing really going. That solo shot by Nito in the 3rd, right? But other than that, I mean, they struck out 11 times as a team. Only had 6 hits, dude. Not great. 0 for 4 with runner in scoring position. I mentioned that, bases juice scenario. And I mean, McGill at the end of the day, 5 innings pitched, only 2 earned runs. That 1 run was earned off an error. 86 pitches, 7 Ks. Like, didn't pitch terribly for his first start back, but there's no offense, dude. It was 3-1.
What's worse, that performance or the fact that Matthew Ryan is back and chirping?
Probably Matthew Ryan.
Tony has the face on like he's gonna hang up on him.
Mets lost again. Matthew Ryan says, Jude, how many games do they lose? Edwin Diaz even pitched last night, dude. So I don't know what you're talking about.
He's just saying generally speaking,
dude.
the 5.50 ERA.
Well, hey, let's, again, like, think about how bad he was when he first came over the Mets. Like, it was
you never know.
Process. Let's get back to it. And again, we'll reiterate, whole season off, injury. Like, you're going to go through it. You're going to go through it, dude.
I don't know why, but like, just for me, I think this year, funniest moment, you hanging up on Matthew Ryan, cheesing. And nope, that's gonna be the end of the call. He's like mid-sentence. You're like, nope.
Oh,
man.
God,
Michael
dude.
Bunka is earning, Tony, for Newport Beach.
How many times have you been to Newport Beach?
Only once,
dude?
Michael.
He wants to know, when in
Only
August are
once.
you going back?
Middle of August, bud.
Middle
of
My mother
August.
says good morning also.
Good morning.
So you're not happy about the Mets dropping game one here in Cleveland. And Lindor's first game back, by the way, in Cleveland since leaving the organization.
Did they do a tribute?
It wasn't a video. They had like a graphic up on the Jumbotron.
Did he do the old?
He did. He got a standing O. People
Was
were
it packed there or not really?
no.
Yeah, their attendance sucks.
Yeah, I'm actually. We can look at the numbers
I
here.
think they're like down by like 20.
20. If you had to
No,
guess,
I'm saying, this game,
This
I'm going
game.
to say there was 21,000, but I'm saying their average attendance is in the 20s, like in terms of the ranked in the, 20,000.
20,000. Well, that's average for them, I guess. So, but I think Adrian Hauser getting the start tonight, dude, for the first time in a while, which is not good if you're a Met fan.
Also, Michael Butka, I don't know if he's trying to sneak on the flight, asking what are the dates of the Southern California in August.
He wants to know, dude.
I guess, I'll have to have my manager send over the itinerary to you, Michael.
Yes, travel agent. Get in contact with your travel agent.
What, hungry right now, huh? No.
Yeah, I'm starving, dude.
By the way, dude, I know I already mentioned this yesterday, but you really have to try the Candlelight Inn in Scarsdale. I don't know what's making me think about that right now. Remember I was telling you yesterday,
Yeah.
like been around 1955, like all that, or no? Did I not talk about that?
No, you were talking about that. I recall 955.
Yeah. But the wings, dude, so good. Like the mix of the honey barbecue bourbon and the hot, but the sauce is mixed together.
Oh, it sounds so good.
Ridiculous, honestly. Like, should we go right now?
Let's go right now, dude. Starving.
What
Starving.
do you think you're gonna end up eating today?
Well, I got a meal prepped. I'll probably have it for lunch because we have binge buddies later on. Maybe Michael, a nice pie, even. I don't know what Michael's plans are for dinner, but if not, then I don't know. We'll see. But I got my meal. I got a nice rice bowl.
I mean,
ground
I
beef,
feel like it's one of
peppers,
those
onions.
things, like if pies in the equation, Tony. Come on, right or no?
I know. It's so hard not to, dude.
Were you trying to lay off or no?
Oh yeah, I mean, trying to take it easy a little bit, Brian.
Can't always be a pizza.
I know.
Like it
dude.
can't always be the beaches, the palm trees, the beers.
I feel like for Michael Buckton, it can always. be
I
that,
think
dude.
what it is with Michael Bucca, he just needs one bender, get it all out of his system, so then he can kind of just relax. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean his birthday's coming up, August 17th.
Yeah, I think he needs 7 days straight, Newport Beach, hammered every day.
Matthew Ryan's calling in right now, dude.
The Matthew Ryan 90
We gotta
seconds.
at least take it. Yeah, hold on, stand by.
He's gonna yell at you. The Mets, Edwin Diaz, fired up.
What do you got, Matthew?
So how's that Edwin Diaz thing going?
I mean, we talked about it. We can talk about it every day if you want, but you got to give the guy some time, dude. He's taking a step back from the closer position.
No. It's
I mean that's what we talked
June.
about, Matthew. I mean, it's been a whole year of him not pitching and nursing a knee injury.
It's almost June. Come on.
It's almost
You gotta get rid of
June.
him.
It's almost
It's
June.
June.
I mean, his last 3 outings, he's gotten really tossed up. I mean, if you really want to boil it down, again, I know you're not watching the games. I know you're not watching the at-bats, but if you recall, he went through a couple times where, the defenseman behind him, the fielders really kind of didn't do him any help. He had a few blown calls in terms of your umpire. I mean, you look at that back against the Cardinals. I think it was Castellanos before he got hurt. Check swing, no call.
Here's my
And
question.
then instead of game
Here's my
over,
question.
another save for Diaz. He ended up giving up a hit after that bad call by the umpire. So, I mean, again, you want to break it down like that. But again, I know you're not watching these ABs. You're not watching these games. But go ahead. What do you got?
I have a question. If you say he's one of the best closers, and he was one of the best closers, how did he go from a 2 whatever you said ERA to almost like a 5, almost a 6 ERA? How?
Well, I mean, again, it's been he did get
overrated.
injured. He got injured a year ago. I don't know if you recall at the World Baseball Classic in celebration. He injured his knee, out whole season, torn ligament, and that was last year. So he was the best closer in baseball 2 seasons ago. I mean, that was, look at the numbers, the best closer in the entire league. So I mean, I don't know what
he's a shell of himself. He's
right
a
now.
shell
Yeah,
of
I mean, he's not. I mean, he comes back like his slider, which is a pitch he developed 2 years ago, which was really good. Hasn't had that movement. It's been really flat. We talked about that. His velocity on his fastball is down. But again, clearly, I mean, he is struggling through something, which is fine.
If I was the Mets, just get rid of him.
That's probably a terrible idea now, honestly.
I think send him to Binghamton, honestly. Let him get the mechanics.
Yeah, I think
worked
so
out.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, he is going to be back to his normal form like that he was 2 years ago. Get rid of him for what? No one's going to want him right now, dude.
Honestly, I think just trade him for Patrick Corbin. Just to get the contract off.
That's ridiculous, dude. You're not trading for Patrick Corbin.
You need if I was a Met fan, I would want Alonso traded. I would want Diaz traded. I would want McNeil gone. I would want.
I mean, why not just trade Lindor too, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just get rid of the whole
thing. I think though Lindor is the one you want to get rid of the most, honestly. If you could, if someone would actually take on that contract.
No one is gonna.
Yeah, but is he
but
gonna turn it around?
Diaz is just, I don't know. I just think that everyone, the Timmy trumpet, the trumpet.
Honestly, I said it when the trumpets came out. That was the beginning of the end.
Oh, and then he had like a whole entire season of being the best closer in all baseball,
no.
And then gets injured in an off-season World Baseball Classic. Like, this is ridiculous.
If you look at it though, I'm not talking about when he started doing coming out to the song. I'm talking about when Timmy Trumpets came to City Field.
Right, actually played.
If you look at his ERA since then, it's awful.
You know, I'm really surprised that you're right, honestly, because you're one of those guys who looks at that and is like, that's total horseshit.
Maybe
but now,
that's possible. That's not
I think there's a lot of things going on here.
Yeah.
One of which is the guy may not be fully healthy. I mean, you don't just come in throwing 95 when you were throwing 102 on the gun. Like something is not right.
Well, clearly there's tentativeness, like when he's pitching.
Yeah, yeah, and again, it's on his plant leg.
I see a lack of effort.
That's it right there. Lack of effort.
That is a lack of effort by Tony to not want to engage.
No, I think I engaged enough, and Michael taking his side to let the man talk, Tony. I mean, it really does piss me off, honestly, because Matthew Ryan, comes in here and says, thanks for the call, Matthew. But it's just total nonsense. Lack of effort. I mean, these are professional ball players. Like, that's just a ridiculously bad take and a lazy call, dude. And there's no place for that on this show.
Was there a coincidence, though, that I said it was one of my top moments of the year? You hang up with them and then you do your patent, and that's it, Matthew.
I mean, listen, not that I planned it, but I mean, sooner or later, you gotta draw a line in the sand. All right.
That line in the sand.
And lack of effort's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see, honestly, how the Mets proceed from here, how they move along. And Matthew hammering home the lack of effort, which is interesting. I mean, you don't think there's any way, Tony. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Diaz hitting the hashish before the game. He's just not. He's got his contract.
No, I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, this guy's been interviewed again. And Matthew Ryan clearly is not paying attention to SNY media. He must be obviously, because this guy's literally crying in the locker room, explaining to the media how all he wants. I mean, dude, he's in a bad spot right here. I mean, it's not good.
Though. I mean, that's kind of.
I mean, he didn't cry during the conference. He cried afterwards.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's. Still...
But I mean, what are you doing? People reported on that.
That's pretty embarrassing. That's all I'm saying. That's the last thing the Mets need. Him crying, the memes, Wilmer Flores, all of that. It's not good for the team.
I mean, nothing's good for the team right now, but at the end of the day, I mean, you're trying to question his effort. I mean, if the guy didn't give a fuck, he wouldn't be crying in the locker room about this. He wouldn't be explaining to the media that all he wants to do is just get back to form so the Mets can start winning games. I mean, that's fucking bullshit. And then you're going to come around and you're going to say lack of effort, and then you're going to say, oh, he's crying. You can't be crying. It's like, dude, the guy's going through it. He's having an emotional time. He has all the pressure on the entire world on him. And yeah, he is blowing saves. So, I mean, what do you want? I mean, this guy was literally on top of the closer's mountain around the MLB.
Mount Everest.
Literally, dude. And now he's rock bottom.
Rushmore, I guess. I mean, either one.
Either one. Yeah. So, the guy's going through it right now. So,
but I kind of think the minors, just for a week or two. What do you think, honestly?
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally agree. Again, I feel like I don't think there's a point in having him be a setup guy now. I mean, I guess your bullpen needs it.
Yeah.
But if you need to send him down to the minors, get some confidence back. I mean, that's what it is, dude. So,
better chance of 6 scoreless tonight, Hauser or Carrasco?
that's a great question. I probably would say Hauser, honestly.
Even with the 7-4-4.
Yeah, but dude, Carrasco,
Is he
7
due, though?
scoreless.
Is that what it is?
Is
So 6 scoreless.
Or 6 scoreless? Is Hauser due for 6 scoreless? Or you tell me that Carrasco's due for 6 scoreless?
I was more saying Hauser because his ERA is that bad.
He is due. And I mean, again, he was down in the bullpen for a little bit. So maybe with a fire underneath his ass, he's like, yo, Mendoza, put me back in rotation. I want it. Give it to me. Let's go.
Wait, so what's the deal? Like, he had his first start of the year was good, and then he's just gotten tattooed every single time he pitches.
Yeah, I think so. And I think his first start of the year was just like okay.
Okay, 5 innings, like 2 earned or something.
Yeah. Maybe 5 and 1 earned or something like that.
Okay.
But other than that, dude, I mean, it's been all downhill.
Yeah.
I feel like every start's like 5 innings, 4 earned.
And especially as inconsistent as their offense has looked recently, I feel like there's no excuse for the Mets not to hammer Carrasco. Like
literally.
Like you're already done right now, but I just feel like it's going to be a whole nother level if it's like he goes 7 scoreless.
Literally, I mean, you had 6 hits last night. That should be at least doubled.
Yeah.
Like tonight, dude.
Practice.
Like literally. And there's no way, like, you're not striking out 12 times as a team. Like, you have to hit him, dude. And you know what he's throwing. Like,
yeah.
You should be able to literally batting practice from the first inning.
Was there any more Cohen comments after the game?
I didn't see any tweets.
Yeah.
No. Mendoza was honestly pretty heated.
Yeah.
I feel like he's getting a little fed up, especially because he is making changes around the lineup. I think Nimmo batted third. Obviously, he put Martinez batting cleanup because Martinez has been killing it. I put Lindor batting first, and I don't know. I think he's just trying to try different things right now.
Doesn't it give you Rojas vibes though?
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like Rojas honestly did even less.
But it's just kind of interesting. Both assistants on the Yankees last year.
Yeah.
Have been,
Who knows? I mean, maybe Mendoza after this year will go back to the Yankees like Rojas
think
did.
it could be one and done? Well, Rojas
I don't know.
Back. He was the first time joining the Yankees. Like he wasn't.
Oh yeah, third base. Yeah. I don't think it'll be one and done. That'd be kind of crazy.
But if they win like 60 games, he probably will be, right or not?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what type of direction that they go. But I mean, what the fuck? You hired the guy. What the hell is one and done? Like, they wanted to hire him for some reason.
But I think it highlights what we always talk about: a lack of plan, direction. You know,
there's got to be some type of plan, dude.
What do you think it is?
I think right now it's wait out to trade deadline, and I think honestly, like everyone's saying, trade now, trade now. I think it would be stupid to start trading guys now, and it would be even dumber, in my opinion, Matthew Ryan, to trade Diaz now, because if anything, you want him to bounce back, and then deadline comes, and then you deal him. Why would you deal him now, right?
Yeah. I've always thought. I mean, obviously, you might have a specific package that stands out that it's like I have to do this, but I've always thought your best value. You either do it in the off season because then you got the whole year, or you just do it at the deadline because the importance of acquiring somebody to help a team win a title, they're going to pay extra.
Right.
And I was just looking on here. It seems like we're pretty far back with the
dude. We're probably a full week back.
Do we just take the old records, forget about last week, and then start with the games last night?
Yeah.
Just so we're not like spending 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
And it's my fault. I gotta be.
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah. At least I admitted it.
Yeah.
At least you're not denying it. It's out there.
Yeah.
Wait, but just make it easier though. Just write this down in terms of the record. So you're 33-16.
Okay.
And by the way, I should get an extra point because I picked Rory for the Wells Fargo, but that's another story. And then 30-21 for me. And that's even, or that was before you had the extra game. So that's 51 versus
52.
49.
49.
How did that happen?
So you're up 2 games. You have 2 more games.
So I guess we'll give you 2 extra picks today.
Great.
Are you really that pissed?
No.
Okay. And then let's do the opposite of what we usually do here. Sorry, I know I'm all over the place here.
Sorry, dude.
No, it's fine, dude. Yeah, no problem. All right. So what do you got for picks for yesterday?
So I had, let's see.
This is for you?
Yes, this is from you. You want to talk with me?
Yeah.
So I had Mets and the under.
So Mets in the
so it's
under, 1-1. Yep.
I had Royals in the over.
The Royals and the over.
That's 3-1.
3-1. Okay.
And then Braves and the under.
Which game?
Oh,
I think you said game 1 with Cease, no? Or did I?
No,
take
you
game
took
1? You
game one
game
with
2.
Cease.
Braves in the under hit.
Braves are gonna hit game 2. Let's go. So that's 5-1.
And then the Avs. What did you have there? Or not the Avs, but the Oilers.
I had the Canucks and the over.
So 0-2 there. So 5-3.
5-3.
And then you were 33-16.
Yeah, so it's 38-19.
Okay. And we're never gonna get behind on the picks again.
Can never, dude.
38-19.
All right, you ready?
And then let me just put up and you have, what's my record? Oh, 30-21, right?
30-21. Yep.
Okay. And then, all right, go.
Yankees in the under. You're 0-2 with that.
Wow.
Padres and the over game 1. That creates you to 2-2.
Okay.
And then Astros and the over. It's 1-1. So you're 3-3.
3-3.
And then you had Oilers in the over. So it's 4-4.
So 4-4.
Yeah.
So 34-25. And then you get 2 extra picks tonight. And that, just like that, it's time, Tony, for an abbreviated, full-on baseball frenzy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are tuned in now, dialed into this beautiful Tuesday around the Major League Baseball.
Tony's saying, screw the Mets.
I mean, I guess I'll take Hauser. I have 2 extra picks in baseball today, so I'm going to probably have to take the Mets at some point. So give me the Mets here against the Guardians. We know Cleveland minus 130 at home. They're the favorites. Cookie Carrasco. Brian was talking about Hauser's 7.4 ERA. Cookie here has a 5.16 ERA. And I want to say pitched against the Mets already this season. I'll have to double check here. I want to say, I guess he hasn't. I thought he did. Nonetheless, dude, his last few outings here, Texas, 4-0 loss, 5 innings. Chicago, 7 innings, 300 run. I guess had a bright start there. But I feel like due to get popped here against the Mets, and the Mets are definitely due to get some offense going. Marte, tight. Bounce back game. 2 dingers coming from him. Tight that I got tossed. Alonso, another dinger. Lindor, dinger. Hauser, give him 5 innings, maybe 2 earned runs. Edwin Diaz comes in as a middle relief guy.
Strikes out the side.
Matthew Ryan calls in crying. I hang up on him again. Doesn't matter. Mets go on to win this game. I'll say 5-4. So Mets and the under. You got that, Brian?
Well, what's the
9.5.
That's a high total.
Very high, right?
With the Mets offense, too.
I know, so weird. And honestly, the Guardians don't have great offense either.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I don't get that either.
I'm going to take the Yankees in the under. Obviously, the under in the over in the Mariners hit last night. So I think opposite tonight. I think Clark Schmidt, confident as hell after 8 scoreless last time out. I think he goes 7 scoreless in this one, striking out 9. And I think Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Giancarlo Stanton, Tony, all with home runs, a shutout, 6-0 victory for the Yankees. Everyone is relaxed.
Everyone is relaxed. Where are they relaxed? They're relaxed in Toronto because the Blue Jays are taking on the White Sox. White Sox here, 14-34. Blue Jays looking to make up some ground here, get back to 500. They're 4 games under. You have UC Kikuchi on the mound, maintaining that sub-3 ERA. 2.6 it's at right now. We're 52 innings pitched. He's been on fire. Game 1 of this series was yesterday. Blue Jays handled them 9-3. I took that again. Dalton Varsho on my fans team, leading the team with home runs, 8 right now. Kind of low for a team, by the way. Vladdy doing well with the average, struggling with the long ball, though. We also have Justin Turner on the team. On my fans team, I'm going to say he goes 3 for 4 tonight with a couple of ribbies. Toronto moves on here to win this game. I'm going to say 5-2. So Toronto and the under, Brian.
Next game, second game. Give me the Twins All you need to know is they are going up against Patrick Corbin. Tony.
Ew.
Batting practice. Joe Ryan, I would say he is Whitey Ford compared to Patrick Corbin. So I think 7 scoreless for Ryan. I think the Twins chase Corbin after 3 1/3, 7 runs, and they end up winning this game 10-2. So it's the Twins, and it's the over, and it's Bitcoin 70,000, Tony.
Kind of crazy. Bitcoin's up at 70,000 again. Nice to see. What also is nice to see. I thought I had my pick, honestly, but I don't really. I guess what is nice to see are the Braves going to Chicago here at 7:40 p.m. TBS Wrigley Field, Chicago, Illinois, as Charlie Chuck Morton, the Connecticut
Uncle
native,
Chuck.
taking on the mound here.
Assad.
Assad, who is 4-0. You better bet your bottom dollar the Braves are handing him his first loss of the season. He's due to get popped. Let's go. The Braves also due for some offense here. They've actually, I guess they've taken 2 out of 3 against the Cubs, but last game they dropped it 7-1, and as of recently, haven't been doing great, but bounced back. San Diego avoided the 4-game sweep, 1-3-0. Charlie Morton, over-under is 10.5, a high-ass total. Very interesting here because both pitchers have been decent, but Vegas thinking Braves are going to go off, I guess. Chicago doesn't matter here. Give me the Braves winning this game. I'm going to say 6-3. Charlie Morton, quality start, 6 innings, 3 earned runs for the old buck. So give me the Braves and the under. Night of unders here for Tony. Your next game, Brian.
Next game, third game, final game, Tony. I'm honestly jealous that you get 2 extra picks. It's almost not fair, but what are you going to do? Almost earning for the old full-on baseball frenzy.
We're almost
days.
there, dude.
Almost there, but not quite, Tony. So tough, but you know what? Looking at these games, give me the Astros. They embarrassed themselves. Lost 9-7 last night. Griffin Canning, pitching like he's on the Mets with a 5.21 ERA. I think it's like can't make one comment. That's being tight. Anyway, give me the Astros. Javier, a couple starts back from injury. He's back. He's ready. I think it's 5-0. I think it's the Astros, it's the under, and it's Yordan Alvarez, a first inning grand slam, setting the tone in this one.
Wow, dude. So let's go now. This is my 4th pick, right?
4th pick.
4th and not so final pick, baby. I'll say it again. 4th and not so final. Let's keep it moving here. God, dude, this is so brutal. I guess give me the Brewers here. Why not, dude? Give me the Brewers in Miami here. The Marlins are bound to take the L. We know they did well against the Mets. Even won game 1 of this series against the Brewers last night in 10 innings. But we have a young book in Robert Gasser on the mound with a .82 ERA so far over 2 starts, I believe. Has pitched 11 innings so far against Pittsburgh and St. Louis and only given up 1 run. Very interesting there for this 24-year-old from El Dorado Hills, California. Give me 6 innings from him. Trevor Rogers, Miami, popped. Give me Brewers and the over. They win, I'll say, 6-3. So Brewers and the over there.
4th game, final game.
4th game,
Or
last
5th
game, best game. Here we go. 5th game. That's right, dude. Figure it out. Oh my God, Rangers, fucking Phillies gonna be a good game here. Casey Mize over there for the Tigers. Royals, actually, I think the Royals. Why not, dude? Let's go to Kansas City, Kauffman Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri, baby. Over under 8.5. Kansas City -105. Look at this game so far. Kansas City won yesterday 8-3. I would expect a dominant victory once again. Salvador Perez, we saw him with a dinger, I believe, in game 1 of this series. Give me another one, back-to-back games for him. Casey Mize, absolutely tattooed as Alec Marsh goes on to get his 4th victory of the season with the Royals so far. Royals go on to win. I'll say 6-3. So Royals and the over there as well, Brian.
And just like that, that is your baseball frenzy. So a packed night on the diamond, and obviously both New York teams, Tony. I think that's me because I kind of partially pulled out my cord. My bad about that. I think.
Oh, wait,
would that make sense or no?
Everything's good.
So that was you, not me?
Yeah.
Okay, but it was coincident. Oh,
Coincidental.
because I had kind of like,
knocked out your thing.
Yeah, now it's like I'm hearing like one ear or the other ear, one ear or the other ear, but I'm fidgeting with the cord. It was
Right.
my fault. Okay, now it's perfect. Stay right there.
Don't move it.
But yeah, both New York teams trying to get back in the winner's circle. Matthew Ryan continuing, Tony. I feel like this might be really irking you.
Really? Matthew Ryan says
Mets will get dominated.
And that Michael Thiefel, thanks for sticking up for me. Very interesting. Astros are like the Mets, LOL. Matthew Ryan says jokes. Matthew Ryan also says Mets will lose 6-0.
Wow. That's fighting.
I mean,
words.
time will tell there.
Yeah. And then Doge moving up as well. Michael jacked. It's Doge. It's ETH. It's Bitcoin. And it's the world, Tony, of the National Hockey League.
Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores. Captain with the overtime winner. That's the middle break. It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping. Rink Washington made the full split save.
Are you kidding me? Turn. Side of the net. Between the legs and they score. Filthy. David Pasternak.
The silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
All right. And it almost felt like, Tony, that the Ranger goal song would be playing, but obviously no action tonight. And I mean, did they kerfuffle that a little bit? Like, it's just like the TV partners' hands are tied, or what do you think? Because they wanted to go Wednesday, so then there's a Friday game, so there's a Sunday game.
That's definitely what it is, yeah. So it winds up on the weekends.
But do you feel like they're botching it or not necessarily?
Matthew Ryan, Florida Panthers in 5, dude.
Stop.
Honestly, hitting the hashish, dude, for sure. No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it is better for everyone if the games do line up better on the weekend, I guess, too. So, I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
In hindsight.
Later start, 8:00. How do you think that plays? Or I mean, the Garden, they can start the game at 1 PM. It would be the same type of like energy.
Oh yeah, dude.
Almost better later. Gives more people time to get to the game.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a Wednesday night too.
And people just don't care about like work tonight. Like it's like this is Rangers playoffs. Like we don't. Like,
well, I mean, they're not caring about the $500 fucking ticket fee to walk in the door. So
yeah, I mean, you never know.
There we go, dude.
But yeah, no, I'm just ready to go. That's
honestly ready to go is a good way to describe it.
And it's interesting too, because I guess it's the same thing. Because I was going to say they're going head to head with the NBA, but the NBA has the Celtics tonight, the Pacers tonight. So same difference, I guess you could say. Only game on the ice last night, to Tony's displeasure, the Edmonton Oilers hanging on 3-2, so winning Game 7 here. Coming back from a 3-2 series deficit, got goals in this one, all in the second period from CeCe Hyman and Nugent Hopkins. The Canucks, second half of the third period, get 2 goals, but unable to get the equalizer. Stu Skinner didn't have to do much, but 15-17, good enough to get Edmonton in the Western Conference Finals, second time in the last 3 years.
Yeah, dude, pretty tough loss here if you're a Canuck fan. I don't know if you saw too before the game though. Brock Bozier could not play.
Yes,
they found blood clots in his leg.
Yeah, you had
tagged on Twitter maybe.
Yeah,
that was a huge. I mean, dude, that's devastating loss.
Could be the difference.
He literally hit 75 points during the regular season, 12 points in the postseason this year, and I mean, dude, he's one of the leaders. I mean, I think second overall pick back in the day by Vancouver, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Probably one of the more veteran players still on the Canucks. And I mean, he was talked about being moved when they got rid of Bo Horvat, and he stuck around, whatever, had a tremendous year with the team, a big reason why the Canucks were where they were at. And I mean, to not have him in your biggest game of the year, I really do think was an equalizer. And you want to watch this game back or whatever, and really take a look at how the Oilers were able to control this game the entire time. Obviously, the Canucks didn't net any goals till the third period. Seelofts and the Canucks were getting outshot dramatically. I think it was like 13-2 in the first period, 25-13 going into the third period. It really is. It was crazy to see how much that Beausier contributed, not only in offensively, talk about that standpoint, but also defensively. He was a back-checking forward. And I mean, the Oilers were just able to maintain puck possession and get quality shots and chances off constantly. And I mean, it's pretty crazy. I mean, obviously that is the name of the game. You talk about it all the time in any sport with any team. Injuries are a thing you have to deal with and overcome. It is unfortunate they came in the form of that Beausier blood clot. And then obviously, I keep mentioning that Seelofts has been playing a great series to be a backup tender, but missing Thatcher Demko too was huge. I mean, that was another big reason why I think Edmonton was able to stick around with Vancouver. And I know they still only scored 3. Again, Seelofts did a great job. He really only gave up 1 goal that was kind of his fault. Even though it was a one-timer cross ice pass, hard to get, but he just, I think, kind of lost his focus a little bit and got a little panicky because they were already down 2-0. And I think even, one play, the Oilers had to get through leaps and bounds to even get past Seelofts. I think 1 goal was on the power play. I think it was that cross ice pass. The other 2 were shots from the point, like shots on the blue line. They didn't get much penetration down low. Canucks still did a great job. It is unfortunate they just were not able to score those first 2 periods. They had a late surge in that third period, scoring twice. And again, I mean, we talked about it going into this game 7, game 6. They did not challenge Skinner at all. Same deal. I think it was like 18, 19 shots on goal.
17.
Well, from game 6.
Oh no, I'm saying this game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we said, like you got to challenge him from the get-go. Skinner's not a great goaltender, and you didn't challenge him at all. You had 17 shots on goal. And when you did start to challenge him in the third period, finally, he started letting up goals. So I mean, I don't know why. I don't know if it was coaching, if they were just all at that point just totally deflated without, one of their star players, without their star goaltender. And then on top of that, I mean, Oilers are obviously a highly productive offensive team. You give them time, you give them space, they're going to use it. And it was like they were skating downhill all game. And I mean, it sucks, Vancouver, you play defense the whole time. You're tired. You can see it in Seelofts. You can see it in some of these shifts that were lasting 2-3 minutes. The Canucks were tired for playing defense, deep in that game. And again, I think they were a Brock Beausier away from winning that game 7. It's a real shame that they lost. And if you ask me right now, I think the Oilers are in for a rude awakening against Dallas.
I feel like it's almost like it's tough for you to let this go with the Oilers as it is for Matthew Ryan with the chirps.
Perhaps. I mean, again, you look at, I understand that, you have Connor McDavid, whatever. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's just a fucking freak show. I mean, you saw the video I sent you with fucking Portnoy on Instagram.
Yeah, but Portnoy, I mean, he's just on coke. I mean,
that's what I mean. Like, people just root for Edmonton Oilers because, oh my God, like McDavid, the best player, whatever. Like, they get so overhyped when in reality they've had, honestly, in my opinion, like the easiest road in the postseason I've seen in the NHL in a long time. I mean, they had the wild card team in the Kings, a Kings team that was also dealing with some injuries. Their bottom 6 was not productive. They were it was a pipe dream that they even made the wild card. Okay. And they even had some trouble with the Kings, but obviously got through. And they played at a Canucks team that was down their goaltender. And then game 7, their star player was nowhere to be found. They're going to be, I think, slapped in the face when they verse a fully healthy Dallas Stars team with Jake Ottinger, who's the best goaltender in the playoffs right now. Not to mention, I mean, like the Dallas Stars have more veterans, more talent. And they're a team that's been humming. I mean, they just beat Colorado like decisively, honestly, 4-2 in that series. So
sour grapes, honestly.
I think me. No, I mean, dude. I mean, obviously for me, I mean, yeah, I was rooting for the Canucks. I mean, I was rooting heavily for a rematch of the '94 Stanley Cup Final between Vancouver and New York. Here, that was kind of what I was rooting for. Certainly, and obviously, I thought it was great to see JT Miller be successful. Should be interesting. I believe he's going to be a free agent, I think, next season. I think quite a few guys in the Canucks are. And again, that's, Vancouver team is a team you don't see, I guess, often in this position.
Right. But maybe but why doesn't the same thing that you're saying about the Oilers apply to them? Like they don't step up, they don't advance far. Like
Right, they don't.
Why is it? You know what I mean? You're happy to see them do that, but the Oilers are not.
Because in my opinion, I think the Oilers, and I've been saying this, are an incomplete team. The only thing they've added, honestly, is more offense this season. That's why they're better. They've kept adding more offense. Like Hyman, offense. Like they don't have great defense. They have a terrible goaltender. And I mean,
I wouldn't say terrible, dude. Like he's not.
I mean, where does he
terrible.
sit around the league?
Oh, I mean, he's probably in the top 10 in save percentage.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But everything.
Stewie.
I don't know, man. But still, regardless, I mean, I feel like that guy Skinner has proven nothing. And again, I mean, you see him kind of skim by here with 17 shot attempts. I mean, again, there's going to be a rude awakening when you've seen the score sheet for Dallas against the Avalanche, who have a better goaltender, have better defense, and they're getting 35 shots on goal. Not to mention playing way more physically. So, I mean, again, I mean, obviously time will tell. Yeah, am I maybe a little biased right now? Sure, but that's just
Michael agrees
how I
with me,
see
by
it
the way.
right
I don't
now.
know if you saw. He's kind of chirping you.
I mean, what else is new, dude?
Well, what does our good friend Michael say?
He says Tony's tight. He hates the Oilers so much, and then says it again. He hates the Oilers so much.
So, I mean, what's your thoughts about that?
I mean, I don't hate the Oilers per se.
You do.
I don't hate the entire organization as a whole. I just don't like their team right now.
But Tony, also one thing that I just feel like you're not acknowledging here. You talk about it all the time about how hard it is to win a Stanley Cup. So where does that come into play here? You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, they can have all this talent, this and that, but it's like, is it not just like that? It's hard as shit to win, and like,
oh yeah,
but they don't deserve to be ridiculed. I'm not ridiculing them, dude.
I'm confused. What's your question though?
No, just because I feel like you hold it against them because of the talent that they have, that they haven't been able to take the next step. But I'm saying,
Right.
like you talk about all the time, how hard it is, talent or not,
Right.
to get to that point. So I'm saying, why do you hold that against them and not other teams?
Well, I think because with the Oilers, first of all, they're in such a limelight because of the talent that they do have.
Skinner 25th in save percentage. Maybe I was wrong, but they have some backup tenors that are included in there. So
No,
his save percentage was just over 9, but I think it's just because he had like a bad stretch at the end of the year. 905 save percentage.
I don't know. I feel like, again, looking at the Oilers, they're like I said, they're in the limelight. They're in the thick of it because of the talent they have. And in my opinion, I think they're a poorly managed team. I mean, I understand. Yes, it is incredibly hard to win a cup. You need a full team, which I don't think they have. And like I said, that you break down their road to the Western Conference Final right now. $1,000 what? You want me to bet $1,000?
Yeah, actually not. That was I don't know why. That was like almost immature of me to just like in the middle of what you're saying. Just I was gonna ask you a question, but continue what you're saying. I don't know. Maybe I'm hungry. I'm tight. Like just what were you saying?
Oh God, dude.
About the Oilers.
Oh yes, they're an incomplete team. And again, I mean, certainly I do ridicule other teams for this. But I mean, I'm going to do it to the Edmonton Oilers. Like I said, Edmonton Oilers, once again, because they're in the limelight so much, because they're always get media coverage.
If they win? What if they make the finals?
If they beat Dallas, then that's serious.
But then, so then all of this goes away, you're saying? Or being that we hope they're facing the Rangers, then it's like you're going to get riled to like attack again. But then
where are you going to stand at that point?
Oh, I mean, we got to kick their ass,
yeah,
of course. But I'm saying, in all seriousness, if they go to the finals, even if they get swept, I think that's a successful season.
No, yeah, obviously. I mean, making it to the finals, certainly. But I will stand by. I think that the GM, their organization is poorly run. I think when you have two of the best players in the league and you still struggle to kind of like limp your way into playoffs, limp your way through playoffs, there's an issue there. And I think they don't.
Are they really limping? I mean, Vancouver's a good team. Like, I don't think it's like a shot to go 7. No, like Vancouver,
not necessarily. But again, I mean, a team they're down their first string goaltender, and I mean, yeah, they are a great team. But I mean, again, you look at this series, even game for game. I don't know. I mean, they're coming into the series, they're blowing teams out 8-2 in the regular season. Like that's their thing, that they score so much. And they really, I feel like, didn't have that. I mean, they had 4-3 victories, 3-4 victories, giving up goals in the last minute sometimes against the Canucks. And I know the Canucks are good, but they are injured. You're versing now a fully healthy
Tony's so tight, Matthew Ryan.
Dallas Stars
Michael
team.
Only hears hater. Blah, blah, blah. He's contradicting himself.
What is that?
He's got nothing for that. Great Crescent Brad. He hates the Oilers so much. Tony is
I'm contradicting myself. No, I'm saying that they're poorly run. They're not a fucking complete team. All right?
I swear to in all seriousness,
Like they
I know
haven't
you're
played
gonna-
a complete team.
You're gonna think I'm just trying to get you to erupt, but I swear to God, like I don't know what the hell you're saying. To be honest, it's like they won 50 games. They're in the
Right.
conference finals. Like I feel like it's like so you're saying just because like they haven't advanced and they don't have a complete team, but I mean clearly they're doing something right in the Western Conference Finals, and I feel like that shouldn't be overlooked. That's all.
Did you like miss the part where we broke down though, like each series having the easiest road to get there?
But in all seriousness, though, I know
Like that isn't in all
but
seriousness.
but I just think though, at the end of the day, does it matter how you got there, or it just matters that you got there? Like the only thing what you're talking about that only is used to predict how you're going to do in the next series, right? At the end of the
Which
day,
is why I'm saying
but
the
you're saying you're
Dallas
gonna get
Stars
smacked around
will
by the
win.
Dallas.
I think that they're going to get like a nice swift punch in the face because they've had an easy
like,
road.
right
and
now we're doing this,
okay,
and it's Sakura for the series right now.
so good for
Done.
the series.
Yes.
Western Conference Finals.
Yes.
You want the Oilers to win?
Yes.
I'll take Dallas.
Unlimited tab. So
Unlimited.
not unlimited. But I'm just saying dinner,
No, yes,
a couple
dinner,
drinks.
no, like a full, like an outing, an outing
but
to
not,
Sakura.
Like, no, you're not getting like the lobster and
Right.
like 5 entrees.
No, I'm
No,
gonna
just
get
saying
the fillet
a
and the shrimp, like you've been telling me. Yeah.
hibachi dinner with a couple drinks.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
Fried ice cream too. I mean, if we want dessert. If we're,
Oh
if
yeah,
we're,
yeah. If we're feeling it, yeah. If there's room.
But
Which there,
done.
I mean, Friday.
Like gentleman's agreement. We don't even need to
Yes.
shake.
Don't
Everybody
need to shake, dude. Whatever, dude. Michael can't come. Michael cannot show up though.
Josh B says, "So late to the party. Corporate America sucks."
I'm sorry to hear that, Josh B.
And then he says, "You said that with the Canucks, and what happens?"
Again, if you listen to what's happening here, going into that series, what happens to the Canucks? They lose their goaltender. Going into the game 7, what happens? They lose their top scorer, one of their top scorers. So, like, yeah, you're down 2 of your best players. Again, easy road for the Oilers, and you still almost blew it.
The question I was going to ask you though, because I know we can keep going in circles with this, $100 cash right now. If you could answer this question, minimum 20 starts. And if you didn't look it up, if you looked it up, then you're.
I don't know
even know
what the question is, but I guarantee you I didn't look it up.
Percentage leader in the league, minimum 25 starts.
Minimum 25 starts.
Save percentage leader. $100 cash.
$100 cash right now. You have it.
Yeah. You would be above Dave Rothenberg if you were able to get this question. I just don't think
I know. I'm like almost like leaning towards Connor Hellebuck, but I don't know. I mean, minimum 25 games. Is it a backup goaltender?
I can't say anything because this is a cash prize.
Oh God! If it's a backup goaltender, that's so ridiculous. Highest save percentage. I don't think it's Swayman or Allmark. I guess I'll go with Hellebuck.
You were one spot away from 100 cash.
Oh,
Anthony Stolarz, the backup goalie for Florida.
damn it,
16
dude!
and 7, 925 save percentage. Unbelievable, kind of.
That is kind of crazy.
But if you're talking about starters, Hellebuck would be the leader at 921. So there is that.
I guess I'll take that. Suck it, Michael.
Boy, I'm hungry, dude.
Yeah,
but it's kind of sick that we have this security. Like we're forced into like we have to. I know.
No, like, let's
the other
go,
stuff
dude.
go. This is not going to be one of those things. Like it's literally, it's a binding agreement, almost like opening day, where within a week the payout has to be
within 1 week.
We have to go to Sakura.
Yeah.
Like done. Like, and I think I was just talking with Matt that we haven't been to Sakura. Renee hasn't been to Sakura in a while, right, Renee?
I mean, I think, geez, last time we were there, I don't even know. Maybe Renee's birthday back then.
Could have been.
Could have been.
Oh
dude.
my! Like, even though it's a little early, I really would completely house the steak and shrimp.
Dude, the filet and shrimp, like that's like you've been talking about that to me for so long. Like I really want to try that.
Yeah. Like, you're sure you don't want the chicken?
I will not get the chicken. I will get filet and shrimp, and if I like filet and shrimp, I will stick with that as my order.
Chicken's a little tough. And then Michael's saying he's definitely going to Sakura.
You can
He's
sit at the bar, I
judge.
guess, the other side.
Yes, Michael. You are in, sir. We know Matthew's in. I think Josh B said he wants in.
Yeah, corporate America.
And Tony is making excuses for Oilers. Are you going to make excuses for the Rangers when they lose? And yeah, see, this is where it gets a little crazy. Like, who's saying anything about the Rangers, Matthew? Come on. You're better than that. You're tied up with the Devils. Can't help it. It's all right. So just I know we can do this tomorrow, but I kind of just want to do it now.
What do you got?
So both series here. what's our prediction? Games, winners. Starting with this one.
This one as in Oilers. I think Dallas wins it in 6.
1,006.
Dallas in 6. And then in terms of the Rangers and Florida Panthers, I mean, obviously the Rangers fan in me says Rangers in 5. But goddamn, is that going to be hard, dude? I'm going to stick with Rangers in 5.
I'm going to do Oilers in 6, Rangers in 6. Let's go. That'll be ridiculous if that's the matchup. Because I did talk about it earlier in the year. I said McDavid needs to see what it's like.
Yeah.
Like, even like you would still be tight. Like, cup victory, but McDavid offseason, like, you'd be pissed.
No, I would not be pissed, dude. If the Rangers win the cup like that, nothing's bothering me. Not even Matthew Ryan, dude.
No, but it is ridiculous because I feel like there's been hypothetical things we've talked about. Like, that really may happen.
McDavid it could.
Like, that will be insane if that really does happen.
That would be, and I would welcome that. I mean, Rangers are a complete team; they could definitely use them.
You think instant captaincy?
No.
True, though. The people were talking about on the radio how they feel Kreider's a real captain.
Yeah, I don't know. It's such a weird conversation coming from fans because, I mean, the players choose the captain. Like they don't, it's not like Trouba was like, it's not like Gallant was like, yo, like you're gonna be the captain. Or Laviolette was like, yo, you're gonna be the captain. Like, this
wait, but is it re-voted on each season? So, like, he technically could have lost his captaincy.
Yes. Captaincy
before the season.
I don't know if that
does that ever happened?
Oh, yeah, certainly. Players have lost captaincy.
On the Rangers.
Oh, on the Rangers.
Or no, that's.
I'm trying to think. I mean, McDonough never lost it. Callahan never really lost it. Before him, I think Yager had it. I think for.
Why do you think Michael says Crofton?
Crofton, because he thinks he's not a good captain, or maybe he just actually misspelled captain. Or probably saying he's not a good captain.
I think he is saying that.
Yeah. Well, Michael can join Matthew. They're both Devils fans. Okay, but they can go to Sakura.
For a Devils fan, Michael's been wearing a lot of Rangers jerseys. I think he's full on Rangers at this point.
I don't know. We'll see, dude. It's tough.
But,
it's a tough mold to break there.
Let's just go to the world of the National Basketball Association.
The Bulls got LeBron James at the buzzer. He banks in the three, and the Lakers win the game.
All right. So we have the conference finals, not only for the National Hockey League, but the National Basketball League starting tonight in Boston. It's the Pacers, it's the Celtics, it's Halliburton, and Michael Butka. I'm sorry, bud, but it's Jason Tatum, Tony. So obviously Pacers being a 6 seed, not expected to be there. Halliburton's been great. Siakam's been an awesome addition. Rick Carlisle's won a championship before. So you see how that has been, pieced together. And we know about the Celtics, Tatum and Brown and Horford, Derek White. I mean, they're just so deep all the way through here. Joe Mazzulla has done a great job since taking over for Udoka. So, I mean, what are your thoughts here? You look at this game, Boston 10.5-point favorites. When's the last time you had a 10.5-point favorite game 1 of a conference final in the NBA?
Kind of funny, dude.
221.5 the total. But just for this game, for this series, I don't think like Boston's going to sweep. I think the Pacers will at least win 1 game, but I don't know if I really see more than that. Possibly 2 if I had to. As Michael says, Indiana in 6, which would be crazy. Carlisle, you never know. But I mean, is in your eyes, Tony, I mean, is there a chance, Halliburton, Miles Turner, they've been playing together for a while. I mean, riled up and spark an upset. We've seen the Celtics fall short, Domack, Riley, tight. I mean, is there any scenario that you see that happening?
I mean, I guess we've seen it before from the Celtics, but again, you can compare, the Pacers run to what the Edmonton Oilers run in the playoffs.
No, but
here.
I think, I would argue the Boston Celtics are the Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, because they blow it in big spots, you said?
Yeah.
Interesting. So for the Pacers, they played the Bucks first round, right?
Yeah,
no Giannis, no
injuries.
Dame,
Yeah.
Knicks, all the injuries.
Right.
Celtics here. Is everyone healthy?
Yeah. Or
Porzingis.
We could check what the
Let's see. Looks like Porzingis out. It says
okay. Let's see what the update is there. I think everyone else though will be
ruled out for Tuesday's game 1.
Okay.
For his calf.
and obviously, he averaged 20 and 7 in the regular season.
Yeah. So I mean,
But they haven't won a title since 08, Tony. They've been to the
Celtics,
finals
yeah,
since then.
a lot.
They've lost a lot of conference finals. I mean, are they? I mean, because you would almost think you, by default, then would really not like the Boston Celtics.
Because they blow it in big
Yeah.
spots. Sure.
I mean, think about how long, though, in all seriousness, Tatum and Brown have been on the Celtics, and they've been close, but not been able to close the deal. Obviously, think back to a couple of years ago, losing to the Warriors in the NBA Finals.
Yeah. But I don't know. I still think, though, I mean, maybe they could blow this series, but game 1 in TD Garden, I think they have in the bag, dude. I think game
Blowout or no?
Yeah, I think it'll be a decisive victory.
Oh, they also have Drew Holiday and Peyton Pritchard. I mean, this
So,
team,
I mean,
geez.
yeah, I mean, they're leaps and bounds in terms of talent on paper from the Pacers. And again, they're really only missing one guy, Porzingis, albeit a big key player. But I think they should have no problem. I mean, again, even watching the Pacers against the Knicks, like the Pacers' mistakes against the Knicks, like almost cost them that series, like. So yeah, give me the Celtics here. I think they cover. I think it's the over. Like, let's go.
And is it like they just cover or they win by 20?
What is it? 10.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see maybe 13, 15 point victories. So
I'm going to say they win, don't cover, lose game 2, but then end up winning the rest of the games of the series.
Game 1 and 2 are at the Garden.
Yeah. It would be crazy.
That'd be crazy.
I'm
gonna say for the Pacers to even take one on the road here, I think it would be kind of like huge for them, dude. That's like making it a series if they take one here.
And you could almost argue, in a sense, I guess the difference would be, the Mavs had Dirk, but he was later on in his career. But for the Pacers as a lower seed to make the finals, it would almost be similar to that Mavericks team in 2011 that ended up winning the championship.
That is pretty sick.
Carlisle, the coach.
If you were to compare those two teams, though, like athletically here,
the Pacers are better, but I think the Mavs had
Dirk.
More veterans, more guys with playoff
Tyson
experience.
Chandler.
Yeah, Tyson Chandler, Jason Terry. I was hitting threes like that, like crazy. So yeah, it'll be interesting, and it will be. I would like to see the Pacers win this series. I don't think they can. We'll have to see. The Western Conference Finals is going to start tomorrow. And by the way, I'll do the under. I guess should we make the basketball part of the picks now that we're in
Celtics in the under?
Since it's the
put
the
Celtics in the under
finals,
for you. Celtics in the over
it's
for
one
me.
of the things lagging. But while I'm waiting for this to pull up, other series that'll start tomorrow. It's the Timberwolves. It's the Mavs. It's in Minnesota to start. Tony, what's your thoughts on that series? It's A-Rod. It's Cuban. It's the Battle of Shark Tank.
It would be cool to see Mavs Pacers, kind of that
Carlisle
that
tribute
would be,
video.
Yeah, that the hell of a tribute video. But I mean, dude, it's so tough. I mean, in Minnesota, how's Minnesota? What's the vibe like over there? Are they pretty hyped?
I mean, Edwards, even though he didn't play well, has been going off this postseason. Obviously, they win that game 7 against Denver, the big comeback. I mean, they're jacked up. But obviously,
that's
Luka
great.
and Kyrie, that's
I know.
tough.
I think Edwards would. It's so tough because I think, like you said, Edwards that game 7. What do you have? Like maybe 15 points, maybe. It was an overall team victory, and I don't know. You want to try and have me sit here and say Edwards needs to go off for them to win? That doesn't really need to happen. But I don't know. I mean, I think. Oh gosh, Dallas game 1 on the road here. Dallas is plus 150, the underdog. Give me Dallas.
Wow. I mean, but I guess this game is tomorrow. So we can make the pick tomorrow. I was just more talking about the series, not to like.
Oh, yeah. I would still say Dallas on the series.
In how many games?
I guess 6.
I'm going to say Wolves in 7. Anthony Edwards.
Wow.
Anthony Jordan, as Michael would say. The Prism cards. He's cheesing. This is his time. This is his time to ascend. It's been a while. There's been a gap. And I was talking about this yesterday with Matt. You think about it, like that generation, like with, like obviously you had LeBron and Curry, winning their championships. And I guess Kawhi was kind of after them, but that middle generation between like the Anthony Edwards era and then like the LeBron era, like has been very disappointing. You know, if you think about it, and like Durant, would he have any titles if you know he didn't go to Golden State?
Seems like not, right?
Chris Paul coming up short, Carmelo. You know, there's just been a lot of guys that are like in the top part of the league that haven't been able to close the deal. Obviously, Tatum, Tony Tatum, the way Michael says Tatum, right? A lot of comments.
Yeah, dude. I guess up here, Michael says that Pacers are going to be giving them trouble. The Celtics, that is, got a bunch of Energizer bunnies on that team. Deep bench also. Play too fast for Boston, he thinks. And then Buck reiterates here, Tatum is trash. Michael says Indiana just played game 7 in the real Garden. TD won't be an issue, mark my words. But then he says Mavs had the illest team that year, handed LeBron a fat L. I'll never get that out of my mind. LeBron getting beat up by JJ Barea. He says Mavs in 5. Luka plus Kyrie equals 24 NBA champs.
Isn't it crazy? Back in the day, a comment like that, LeBron, JJ Barea, me jacked another hour of the show. Now, right off the back, Tony. You know, just because I don't know. You know, I mean, it was a while ago. He's still, you know, won his 4 titles. It's tough now, but maybe he's gonna join. Maybe he's gonna do the Michael. He's coming home. You think that's really happening or no? LeBron to Cleveland?
I don't know. Is his son gonna be getting drafted?
There's no clarity yet. The draft is next month. I think he can like withdraw right before it or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Or he could go back if he doesn't hire. That's the thing, too. If he gets undrafted, doesn't hire an agent, go back.
That's kind of crazy. The rules are weird about that.
I know. Michael, though, Mavs in 5 is Luka, Kyrie, 24 NBA champs. Well, who are your NBA champs?
I had the Mavs win at the beginning of the year.
So you're just
stick with my pick right there.
But you wouldn't be tight if, other than obviously not hitting the pick, but you wouldn't be tight if it's the Wolves. Edwards, changing of the guard. Tight. Edwards, like, you never know, honestly. Like, Edwards could go on to win like 5 titles and be like an all-time great.
I mean, Minnesota, too. I mean, one of my close friends growing up, actually, huge Timberwolves fan. So, freaking Rubio and whatever, dude, growing up. So, sure, I got a little soft spot for the T-Wolves.
And A-Rod. You really hate A-Rod that much?
I mean, I think he's a total chief. I mean, come on, dude. Like, the Shark Tank, J-Lo, the steroids, like, over it, bro.
I think I told you about this a while ago, but one of the funniest things is when he used to be on Sunday Night Baseball, and it was like the Nationals right after they had won the title. You know how they're basically terrible every year after. And he's like hyping up Dave Martinez. He's talking about like in his lineup, he's got a ton of professional hitters. Matt Wieters, like that's it. And Matt Wieters is hitting like 190. He's talking about how David Robertson is ambidextrous and like a gymnast out on the mound. Like, you know, he just say always does ridiculous things. And then I don't remember. You remember too? I forgot what her name was, but the girl from the Little League World Series, like she was in the booth and like, I don't know. He was just like, it was just like an uncomfortable like interview. Yeah, he was at the Little League World Series. Monet Davis.
Okay, yeah, I do recall that.
And then Michael's saying Bronny protected for number 1. Look at the betting odds. And then Matthew Ryan saying Celtics will win the NBA title. A-Rod is trash.
Wow.
Kind of crazy, right?
I mean, A-Rod seems to be not a good person.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, he really blew it, but it's I don't know. It's to me, it's like he could have helped it, and like it's like I think it was even before the steroids. It was Zico because like the whole thing, or maybe the steroids started that because remember he was like just like saying all this shit about Jeter, like the interviews and stuff. I think it was after he came over, or maybe it was before. I don't know.
I think it was after.
But it's like what? Like
yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah. And now it's like you could tell like on set, like he like so badly wants like Jeter to like to be his best friend. Again.
Literally so badly, dude. And it's pathetic, honestly.
Like almost as pathetic as the Matthew Ryan take or no?
Yeah, almost.
Are you going right for the meal prep right now?
Nah, I can't.
Editing?
Shoot with Sharon actually downstairs.
Shoot with Sharon.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Little quick reel for the Knowlton social media, dude.
Then the food.
Yeah, probably be lunchtime. It's I mean, it is lunchtime. So
yeah, I still haven't decided what I'm gonna do because I'm just gonna wing it, figure it out. Sakura pickup used to do that a lot actually because the lunch special.
I do
cheaper.
Recall. Yeah.
But it's been a while. And then Matthew Ryan saying Jeter hates him on the way out.
He does.
But you know, Tony, I think this was a very well versed show.
Oh yeah.
Sprinkled in some NBA now that we're at that time of year. And I have to say, watching some of the games, like when you're this part in the playoffs, like it definitely is a lot better than like the regular season.
Dude, so much better.
Yeah.
And even for me too, it has been like Mike's been making sure we sit down and watch some of these games. So
yeah,
it's dope, dude.
There's juice.
There's a lot of juice here.
But that being said, another great episode and really appreciate everybody who tuned in today and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, the merch at downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees.
Let's go Mets.
And we will see you. Mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.